Oh my gosh. Why? It can't get worse! I don't think a project has made me come this close to crying. Hello friends, today is August 30th, which means it's officially fall in my mind. Whether that's accurate or not is irrelevant in my mind. It is fall, and that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna behave like it is fall. Today's video is going to be a cozy crochet studio vlog. We're just gonna be hanging out. I'm gonna be working on my dream Halloween sweater, which is this sugar cookie Halloween sweater right here. I've already got the yarn ordered and everything. I'm also gonna be doing some Halloween shopping for some decorations, so I'll take you guys along with me on that, and then we'll just kind of see where the week takes us. But for today, I'm gonna go pick up the yarn, take you guys with me, and then my now husband, by the way, guys, I know I went missing for a good month there. It's because I was actually getting married. So my husband, Devin, and I are gonna go Halloween shopping, and we'll take you guys along, and then I'm thinking we'll probably work on the crochet sweater a little bit later on today. So I'm very excited to just spend some time with you guys, not have a strict agenda. It's been a little while since we've just crocheted and chilled and did a studio vlog, so if that sounds like fun, then stick around.
Surprise!
Bubba, what is going on here? Explain it to the vlog.
I saw a inspiring TikTok with pumpkin stacks, and I wanted to try it myself.
So that's Devin's DIY, and we will follow along on that part too. But we're very excited because this afternoon we're gonna go get lunch, and then we're gonna go Halloween present shopping. I mean, not presents, Halloween decoration.
Shopping. What?
Halloween decoration shopping.
Decoration shopping.
So we're gonna hit up, where are we going? We're gonna hit up Michael's because I gotta pick up my yarn. We'll check out the decorations there. We'll probably hit up TJ Maxx because they have pretty superior Halloween decorations. And then we're gonna go to, where was the last place? Oh, Target, because we need toiletries.
My favorite place.
But they also have some cute decor there, so we'll take you guys with us. I want that one.
You gonna fit it?
No, but it's cute. These are so cute. Oh my gosh, freshly brewed. Need. Best day ever. Devin wants to put this in our 675 square foot apartment.
No, actually outside on the back.
Vintage vibe is so cute. Okay, we have some hard decisions to make now.
So,
Football?
yes.
Yes. I want it to be a surprise for the haul, so I'm not going to show you guys anymore. But we're going to make some decisions now. Oh, bye. Hi, we are back from our little shopping excursion, and I thought I would do a bit of a mini, well, it's kind of not a mini haul. We went a little bit crazy doing some Halloween decoration shopping, and then like I mentioned, I got my yarn for my project, so I think I'm going to show you guys what I got, and yeah, Home Goods had so much cute Halloween decorations, but let's start with Michael's first, and I'll start with the yarn for the project. I pretty much followed exactly the colors that the pattern called for, and I was very lucky because today Michael's was doing 40% off all regular online purchases, so I did order pickup for all of this. So these are all of the colors that I grabbed for my sugar cookie sweater. I didn't really do anything too different, but I did like the idea of having like a more muted purple, and then I just loved how bright this green was. And again, I didn't use like the neon orange, but more of like a rust orange color. So I'm really excited to get working on that tonight. I have a feeling I'm gonna have more yarn than I need because the pattern wasn't super specific about how much yarn you need, but I figure I can always return it if I have a brand new skein I don't even touch. But I am using the Impeccable yarn by Loops and Threads, and this is just 100% acrylic weight yarn. I've used this yarn quite a few times. It's pretty reasonably priced. I think each skein came out to like $2.99 for this project because of the 40% off. So yay, we could start on that tonight. Let's move on to the Halloween decorations. Actually, so I'm whispering because Devin is out there watching the game, but I did get a couple of things for a little bit of a date night. I snuck this into my haul, so I figured we could have like a painting date night. So this one is the pumpkin patch, and it actually lights up, which is really cute. So I think Devin will get this one and he can paint that one. And then for me, I'm gonna do the Black Cat Cafe, and I think that this will just be such a fun little date night, quality time spent together, just painting these and watching a fun scary movie or something like that. I like to do that at least once in the fall time and surprise him with it. So that's a secret. And then I also got at Michael's, I did get this pillow. Devin and I both loved it. He looks kind of derpy, but so cute. And right now, all of the Halloween decorations were like 50% off at Michael's, so I also got a really good deal on this. But look at his giant bulgy eyeballs. This will probably go on the couch outside, but I just loved how it looked, and it's a little bit different, but still the same classic Halloween colors. That was everything from Michael's. Then we went to Target, but we didn't really see any Halloween decorations there. We kind of just went to do some errands. And then we went to Home Goods / TJ Maxx, and that was where I feel like we kind of hit the jackpot. So I got, first and foremost, probably the least exciting thing, but just some hand soap, and it says Pumpkin Harvest. It's by the company Sand and Fog, but it comes in a really nice like glass container, and it has a little pumpkin on it, and it smells like pumpkin spice. So I liked that, plus it already came with soap, and you can never have enough hand soap. Then I got this really cute little car with these ghosts in it, and I just thought that this was so precious. It's like a felted fabric, and it will just look so cute up on our like TV console stand. I don't know, I'm a sucker for these little like knick-knack things. I just can't get enough of them. And the next item is kind of just more proof of that. This is such an adorable little cat figurine that we got, and I was really on the fence about if I wanted to get this because I'm not very good with like storing fragile things, but I did end up getting it. The only thing is that I noticed after I purchased it already that this was broken. It's supposed to be hanging off from both sides, but it won't be an issue. I will just use some like pliers and get this connected back on, so it'll be like this. But look at how adorable this ghost kitty is. I love this so much. And then this is Devin's purchase, but he was so excited about it, so I wanted to show you guys. He's actually watching the football game right now, which is kind of funny, so that's why he's not here for the haul. But he got this pumpkin that is also decorated like a football, and this also lights up. And yeah, he was very, very excited. Although it doesn't go with the aesthetic, I will let it slide because he was so stoked when he saw this. So this is Devin's purchase of the day. I got some hand towels for the kitchen because I find that when I buy them, like the ones I bought last year were already really ratty. I don't know why we're so hard on our dish towels. So I always like getting a new set of dish towels each year. They're kind of a cheap way to just bring in some holiday spirit. So I did get these ones. It comes with the mansion, and then it comes with one with just like black and orange checker, and Devin and I both instantly kind of gravitated towards this one, so that was what we settled on. And then last but not least, I got these really cute little ghost like food bowls, and the thought is for date night I will put some like Halloween candies and popcorns in there while we do our little painting and watch a movie. So that's everything I got at this haul. I went kind of crazy. I haven't done Halloween decoration shopping, well, obviously not at least for a year, but I don't feel like I went this crazy last year. I don't know what came over me. I just got really excited this year. So yeah, I think we're gonna be done shopping for Halloween for the season, but it's always so much fun to get to go with him to those stores and just look at what's new in the store. Oh my gosh, no. I have one more thing that I'm really excited to show you guys. I totally forgot. This is like one of the purchases I'm most excited about. I got this pillow and I am so excited because I'm going to put it on our bed. I don't usually bring like Halloween decorations into the bedroom. Usually I kind of keep them out in the living room and the kitchen, but this one I feel like still goes with like our color scheme in here. Mochi, I'll go in the bag. But this one I feel like still goes with our color scheme in here. It still matches and it's not like too creepy or crazy colors. So I thought that this would look so cute on our bed with all of those colors back there. And this is like what the pattern looks like. So that really is everything from the haul. And I just wanted to show you guys all of that real quick before I put everything away either in storage or put it out to decorate already. I think I am gonna put all of this out wherever I can, but I am gonna take a shower and probably just chill a little bit before we get started on the sugar cookie sweater. So I'll check back in with you guys when I'm working on that next. Hello. It's actually a few days later. I know that I said I was gonna start working on it a few nights ago and I did not. I kind of started trying to work on it off camera and I'm glad that I did because it just dawned on me that I have not actually done a tapestry type project like this before. I've done a lot of color changing on like bags and things like that and hats. So I kind of thought it would be a similar process. However, I am learning that it's not exactly the case. I just now learned how to do these floats in the back, and I know that you could do a carryover method, but I decided to go with the floats because based on my research, that's what it sounds like everybody was kind of recommending for these types of projects. So I'm working on the first square so far and I had started it last night and realized I was using the wrong size hook. I don't know why that keeps happening. I'm just not reading instructions well enough, I guess, but it's been an interesting process so far. This is how much of the first square that I've worked up. I am having fun. So far, it's challenging. It's definitely a new and different style for me and not something that I've tried before. I think the biggest challenge for me is working in the 4 different colors and just having to manage my yarn that way. I would love to work on like a full-on tapestry that's just 2 colors, but yeah, this is really a whole new world for me, and I guess I didn't even realize that I hadn't done tapestry crochet. For some reason, I thought just through my color changing projects I already had, but it's very different. So far so good. I'm enjoying it. I'm gonna keep working on this one and hope that I can get it done, but it's gonna take me a little while to get all 4 of these squares done probably because they're kind of time consuming to do. So let's continue to work on this little square and see how far we can get. Now this is what happens. And like I said, new to tapestry crochet, but there has to be a better way. Someone must have an idea or a hack or something so that this does not happen each row, because you just have to like move all your yarn balls around, which is really annoying and honestly a little bit overwhelming. But I do love how it's turning out. I hope my floats are not too long in the back. By the way, if you haven't done tapestry crochet, what I learned is that a float is basically just picking up your yarn at any point with a single crochet by crocheting over it. So that way, if you were to have to go from here to pick up the black, you're not going to have an extremely long string just going straight across, as that's easy to get snagged if you're wearing it in a wearable. So this is about how long my floats are. From what I saw online, it said about every 4 to 5 stitches or about an inch or so, you should do a float or pick up a stitch and crochet over it. So that's kind of how I'm working. Let's just hope that this works out. First time for everything, but yeah, I am really liking the results so far. Devin wants to show you guys the progress of his project.
I cut all of the faces out.
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't have the right tool, so
I'm in the way. So
highly
come over
recommend
here.
highly recommend getting the right tools. And then I just
What's holding them together?
it's a stick.
A stick?
Yeah.
So you carved the holes
I carved the holes in
each of the pumpkins.
the pumpkin. So now
they're stacked.
I just have to cut the top of this off, but I don't know because it may show too much of the stick at night when the candle's
Maybe.
coming through it.
Maybe, or maybe it'll just be dark enough you won't see it.
Well, I think I'm going to put the candles in front.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then Devin's got like little electric tea lights that he's going to put in there.
Yeah.
It looks so good.
That's it.
It looks great.
Thanks, Bob.
Nice work.
I got to cut this wood now.
We'll check back in when it's the finished product. So like I just showed you guys, I finished up all 4 of the squares finally. That took a long time. A lot of respect for you tapestry crocheters out there. It definitely got easier after my first one. I started to figure it out, but still, it was pretty time consuming. But I do love how they turned out. So I wanted to show you guys all of them one by one and give them all their own moment. We have the ghost cookie. This one is the cat cookie, which, fun fact, when I was doing this one, I actually had to like tear it back from here all the way back down to here because I made it into some weird morphed figure that was not a cat. So this was my second go at it, but I do love how it turned out with like the arched back and the puffing. We have the bitten sugar cookie, and then we have the classic pumpkin sugar cookie. But I'm loving how all of the squares are turning out. I think that they are so adorable. I am not looking forward to weaving in the ends. If someone can figure out an invention so we don't have to do that anymore, that would just be amazing, and I would love to invest in that heavily. But I don't think that exists, and so I'm going to have to do this, which is my least favorite part. But in the meantime, I want to show you guys, I have a little surprise real quick. Last time I was at Target, I did see that they finally came out with the pumpkin sugar cookies, and I was so excited I had to pick them up. And I also wanted to just show you guys what this looks like side by side compared to the little granny square, or whatever this is called, tapestry square. It's not a granny square, but look at how similar they actually look. She did such a good job, honestly. I didn't know when I purchased this pattern, or I didn't pay attention close enough to realize they were actually going to be so similar, but I think she did such a great job. So I think this is gonna be my reward for getting through weaving in my ends. I'm gonna preheat the oven and then make these sugar cookies, so that way once all my ends are woven in, that's probably a little optimistic, thinking that it's only gonna take me, 14 minutes to weave in my ends. That's not accurate, but by the time the ends are woven in, or maybe a little bit before that, I can treat myself to one of these cookies. Done weaving in ends, and 'tis time to treat myself to a cookie. Well, my second cookie, because I did have one of the raw ones, but now I get to have a full cookie because I did finish weaving in all of my ends. So what are you doing, buddy? Hello friends, I thought this seemed like a good time in the project to stop and do a little check-in, candidly, a little movie magic secret. It's been at least a couple of weeks, I think, maybe a week, since I was last able to record. I've just been working on some of the next piece as much as I could in between work and life. The next part that I've moved on to is working up one of each of these solid colored squares that will go on the back panel of my sweater. It was really nice to get to transition into doing something a bit more mindless and consistent in stitching instead of having to pay so much attention and be really on point with where each stitch goes for the color work. I've been able to just kind of zone out and work on this, which has been really nice. So far I've got 3 squares done. I have 1 more to go and working that up in black currently. I also have a question for my fellow book lovers out there. I need some good book recommendations. I think I've mentioned that I do like to read Frida McFadden's book. So right now I'm listening to The X because I really like to have some like an audiobook to listen to while I'm working on my project. But I was reading Stephen King's book Holly, but I found that it was just a bit much for me before going to bed. For some reason, I can read Frida McFadden's books before bed and I don't have any issues, but with that one, I don't know, it's just a little too true crime-esque creepy. So I did go to the library and grab some other books, but I kind of just browsed around and picked out whatever looked interesting to me based on the cover. But I'm all ears for any good recommendations you guys have. I love like cozy autumn books, or I of course like suspense, mystery. But yeah, those are my likes and dislikes. So if you have any book recommendations, please pop them in the comment section. I also really liked The Silent Patient. I know a lot of people like that one, but that was like the perfect amount of mystery, suspense, psychological thriller, a twist at the end. A really great book. So if you haven't read it, recommend it. If you have read it and you have others like it, please let me know in the comment section. But I'm gonna keep finishing up this little square here. This is one of the check-ins where I'm not very happy, so I will share with you guys where I am at. I've been working on the panel, the front panel, quite a bit. I don't know if you can tell, but this is ruffling pretty badly, and it's just not looking like a flat square, and I don't feel good about continuing on with the pattern and just not taking care of this. So this is how it's looking. It's very ruffled. The ends are like pointy instead of it being like a good, nice flat square. It's not laying flat, which I don't like, and I don't want to try seaming together because then I know I'm just going to regret not having gone back and frogged earlier in the process. So I'm going to go backwards and frog it. I actually think for frogging this sweater, I want to try a different technique. I don't know if you all have tried this before, but I want to try putting the tail end off of my project into my electric yarn ball winder, and let's see if that will frog it for me and if it takes some of the frustration out of having to do this manually. Let's go try it out. So it's done, and it worked. It frogged it for me, and I didn't have to do anything myself. That being said, these are not very clean, as you can tell. They are not very nice cakes at all, but as long as they're not being stored for a while, I think it'll be okay. If I would have babied the yarn a little bit more into the yarn ball winder, I think it would have worked out better, but I was just wanting to get it done. So that's what I did. I'm going to try something different this time from what the pattern calls for and hope that I can get this to lay flat before we move on to the sleeves and the back panel. Good morning, friends. So I just wanted to check in with you guys. Excuse me if I have the giggles sitting here alone talking to you, but I have completely gone off the path of the pattern. I told you all that I was kind of making things up and finagling things as I went. No, at this point I have gone rogue, and in my defense, my sweater was just not looking like it was gonna fit, so I felt like I had to make some drastic changes, and with that, I had to just completely go rogue. I am leveraging the pattern for sweater number 34, I think that's which one it was, by Daisy and Peace. So at this point, I'm just finishing up the neckline, and I'm gonna hope and pray that this fits when I put it on, but I have no clue. I don't have the faintest idea what this is gonna look like. I know it's probably gonna look pretty different from the photos of the pattern, so it'll be fun. It'll be our Franken-sweater. Let's just see how it turns out. I'm getting so close I could taste it. Oh my gosh. Why? I just realized that I did the shoulders in a 5mm hook. I can't get worse. You can't make this up. I've been crocheting the whole project in a 4.5, but you guys, at this point, I've run out of craps to give, and I think we're just gonna do the same thing on the other side. What a mess. We're gonna work the other shoulder in a 5, and then we're gonna switch back to the 4.5 for the sleeves. At least I noticed now. So we're gonna do that. I'm gonna work the shoulders in a 5mm hook, maybe crochet just a little tightly, and that's gonna be that. I'm not going back and tearing this out one more time. We're just soldiering on. All right, wish me luck. So I am all done doing the shoulders and seaming it together, and this took me a lot longer than I would like to admit. There might have been a countdown to a crying breakdown, but I didn't cry. I was close. I thought this was gonna just be a project I gave up on, but this is where we're at so far. I feel like it's looking cute. I just need to add the sleeves in and then seam it up, and finally we can be done with this project. I also just wanted to normalize that if you get very, very frustrated with your crochet project sometimes, you are not alone. I feel like when you're watching YouTube videos or other people create, they can edit out whatever, right? And of course, that makes total sense. I contemplate if I want to put in my low lights into my videos as well, but I think it's nice to see it because it's just part of crafting, it's part of crocheting. It's not going to go swimmingly every single time. Sometimes you're gonna have a hard time with a pattern, or you're not gonna meet gauge, or you're going to mess up and there's going to be issues. Another little mistake that I made was on the back. My squares were sewed together in a different color order than the front, but at this point I am just soldiering on. That is my motto for this sweater, so I just wanted to give you those words of encouragement that if you find yourself so frustrated that you are almost on the verge of tears, I am right there with you. It happens, and it's just part of the learning process, and I'm telling myself that as we speak right now. So I think I mentioned doing the solid colored sleeves, but I think I am gonna follow the striping. I thought that they were thinner stripes than I saw. I'm just tired of working in this cream color, to be honest. So this video is getting extremely long and unruly, so I'm going to work up the sleeves and I'll show you guys the process, but I'm not gonna check back in until we have made quite a bit of progress. Maybe I'll actually check in with you guys when I'm doing like the ribbing and stuff and after I've done the sleeves, because like I said, this video is getting really, really long and I don't want it to be an hour so for one project. So I'm gonna go and work on that and I will check back in with you guys later. Guys, I think this is a good point to check in. I thought I had weaved in all the ends, but it turns out I turned it back inside out and there's still more to weave in, but we're still gonna do our check-in. This is where I'm at. Everything is seamed together. The waviness that I've been worried about is still present, so I'm hoping that it's nothing a good block cannot fix, but I mean, I am proud of it, I think. Let me try it on for you guys so you guys can see it where we're at right now. All right, here we are. My biggest concern right now, I've got a couple. Oh, my shirt looks crazy. I'm in my pajamas. But my biggest concern at the moment is this neckline. I don't know what happened or why it's so wide. I do know what happened. I was very lost and I was guessing and hoping for the best. And this is what we came out with. So it's very much a boat neck. The sleeves are also a little bit too short. So I'm thinking I'm gonna add a little bit of cuffing to it. I did do some decreases at the end, but I've got a couple of things that I'm still just hoping for the best on. Number one would be that a block takes care of some of the waviness that we're seeing or like the frilliness of the top. And then number two is that a collar will fix this awkwardly wide neckline. But at least we're almost done. So I'm gonna go work on the rest of that stuff, and I think next time we'll check in will be the finished reveal of everything, all finally done. I did my best just to really focus on flattening out this body part, and I'm just gonna go ahead and steam the sleeves without pinning them down. I think they'll be fine. I'm mostly worried about this body not being wavy, and I think it's gonna work out. Wish me luck. Final check-in, and I'm so happy that this is the final one because honestly I don't think I could survive one more weaving in of an end or doing a color change. So here is how the final sweater turned out, and I do think it looks adorable. I unfortunately don't believe that the blocking completely took care of the waviness because I think it's a structural issue more than anything. I don't know if you can tell, but it just has to do with there being too many decreases. But I am really pleased with how the neckline on, so instead of just talking about it, let me show you guys what it looks like on. Ta-da! Here's the final sweater. What do you guys think? A little 360 turn. I don't know if you guys can tell on camera, but the waviness is still really bothering me, but like I said, it's just a structural thing. There's really nothing I can do about it. I did my best to fix it as best I could, but the blocking unfortunately didn't fix it completely, but it did make it a bit better. I'm also happy with how the sleeves turned out. I made some adjustments there, and then the thing that I'm most happy about is the way that the neckline turned out. Instead of it being too deep like I thought it was, it actually turned out really beautifully with the collar, and I followed the collar exactly how it was in the pattern. So overall, I do love this. I am definitely going to be wearing it this spooky season, and I will be very proud wearing it, even if it's imperfect in a lot of ways. It's still mine, and I spent a lot of time, effort, and almost tears on it. So I think I might try to get some footage of me frolicking in this outside somewhere and insert it at the end here. But my final thoughts on this sweater and this project in general, I will say, I don't think that this pattern is for the faint of heart. If you are an intermediate or an advanced crocheter, you will be totally fine, and you will definitely end up with a very cute sweater. But if you're a beginner-ish at making wearables, kind of like myself, this might be a challenging one to start with. Now that being said, you could do anything you set your mind to, and I think the end result is pretty worth it to have a dream sweater like this. This has been my dream sweater for the Halloween season, and now I finally have one, and I made it all myself, and I really did learn some things along the way. I find that that's the way that I learn things best, is when I actually have to be thinking about things instead of just following a pattern step by step. That's really when I start to learn, why are we doing increases here? Why are we doing decreases here? And I kind of got to make my own Franken-sweater in a way while getting to follow the pattern. So overall, I am happy with it. There's a lot of color changing. There's a lot of weaving in ends. And also there's some color work, which are tapestry work, which I'm really happy that I got to learn how to do in this project. But if you're game for all of that, then definitely give this sweater a shot. And if you do, send me some photos of it. But I'm gonna end this vlog here. I have to. This is way too long. This is like a full motion picture in theaters right now when it's just supposed to be a little studio vlog. So I hope you guys enjoyed hanging out with me and watching me almost lose my mind making this Halloween sweater. I would not have probably finished it if it wasn't for you guys holding me accountable, so thank you so much. As always, if you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more crochet related content, please remember to like and subscribe, and I will be back in the future with more content very soon. Thanks, bye!